First of all, what is slum and squatter? Slum can be categorized as a sluggish neighborhood with lack of reliable sanitary services, clear water, law enforcement, and basic services. Meanwhile, squatter is someone living in a low-density residential that has grown without a legal right to the land, and it results as the unlawful status, and also the basic services are frequently inadequate. The Malaysian slum and squatter issue emerged since the 1980s as the response of the rapid development after the introduction to the new economic policies (NEP). As the major economic activity is pursued in the city, it ultimately pushes the problem of squatter settlement because more people, especially the rural communities, migrate to the city. Additionally, the deficiency of the supply against the affordable housing in the urban area result in the opening the new illegal squatter settlement. The effort by establishing the resettlement program are among the alternative solutions, but there is the barriers on the resettlement program in terms of security, environment, financial constraints, and so on. Therefore, by identifying the root causes of this slum and squatter, action and recommendation can be identified to eradicate the problem in total.
So there are few issues emerged in the city that caused by slum and squatters. The first one is health issues. It is because squatter settlements are located in marginalized areas such as mining ponds, railways, hillsides, and so on. These type of places also lack of basic amenities, included lack of clean potable water, poor sanitation, overcrowding, and poor healthcare. Then, it also facilitates exposure to health problems. For example, COVID-19 transmission in ex-squatter areas that involve Semporna and Kota Kinabalu district, as said by the Sabah local government and housing minister, Datuk Seri Masidi Manjun. As a result, there were 27 clusters recorded that involving non-citizen individuals such as illegal immigrant party in Sabah. Hence, this unhygienic environment made the squatters themselves and nearby residents highly vulnerable to a variety of disease hazards.
Next issue is poor governance. Poor governance is another factor that contributes to the growth of slums.
The government frequently fails to recognize and include the rights of the urban poor into urban planning, allowing slums to expand. Furthermore, according to UNDRR 2020, the increasing rate of urbanization and population density, particularly in the cities, can create risk when development is rapid, poorly managed, and occurs in an environment of widespread poverty. In an instance, the primary source of flash floods at Hon Seng Farm in Mount Erskine, Penang is said to be unplanned development with most houses built on highways and riverbanks.
This situation has exacerbated when the river route was interrupted by the unexpected growth of the home, which created a valley preventing water from the upstream part of the river from flowing to the downstream part.
These imbalances in development and insufficient planning can lead to urban issues, including negative risks that are often overlooked, such as squatters and social problems in the city.
A home or shelter serves to provide humans with security and safety from harm. Squatter house, on the other hand, fail to meet this criteria because their residents, on average, lack comprehensive basic utilities and exposing them to danger. The unsafe use of building material and the improper construction of squatter house endangers the life and the property of the slum dwellers. The construction of residential house usually use poor quality material, and their position that is too close to each other is any disaster such as fire to spread rapidly and easily. This can be seen in the press when the numerous huge fire broke out in the squatter area, killing residents as occurred in Ampang last March. Due to a lack of security access, every time there is a fire in squatter, hundreds of houses are often destroyed, and many people lose their home. Further, according to the Utusan Malaysia newspaper, this squatter settlement poses a security risk to riverfront dwellers, particularly during the flood and riverbank erosion. The fact that their house is fragile and the poor quality will cause it to be carried away by water during the phenomena of high tide or flood.
Next, in order to address the squatter issue, the government need to play their important role. First and foremost, Ministry of Housing and Local Government. One of its functions is provide the adequate housing for the lower income group. Therefore, this ministry have implemented several initiatives to address the squatters problem, which is Program Perumahan Rakyat, which is PPR, Rumah Mesra Rakyat, which is RMR, Zero Squatters Policy, and so on. Afterwards, state government and local authorities also involved to overcome this issue. For instance, Sabah state government have provided the units of affordable houses under PPR as many as possible on 2019. Other than that, local authorities in Selangor also introduced the Selangor Zero Squatters 2005 Action Plan with the purpose to ensure that everyone in the whole state of Selangor would legally have their own house. Last but not least, government also has set up an action committee that called National Economic and Action Council in order to eradicate the squatters areas nationwide, especially in Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak.
Next, we go to findings. To strengthen our study, we use interviews, were the most commonly used. So, the interviews designed for this study were based primarily on several structured formats. So, they combine focus and open-ended question to guide respondent knowledge to the expertise of personalities held by them. At the same time, allow but they express their opinion, leading to open discussion between the author and respondents. So, we do interview session for a number of individuals in a number of urban cities such as Johor, Selangor, KL and many more. We did this interview session to get a response from the public from different background and their opinion about slum and squatters.
Dia tahu?
Yes.
Yes.
Saya tahu.
Semasa Singgan ni rumah dia rapat-rapat, keadaan tu tak teratur lah.
Setinggan ni seseorang atau sebuah keluarga yang mendirikan sebuah rumah atau penempatan mereka di atas tapak orang lain ataupun tapak yang tadi iktiraf oleh pemilik tu ataupun tanah tu sendiri pemilik oleh kerajaan.
Pertama, kos dia tinggi.
Saya rasa diorang tak mampu untuk membeli rumah.
Bagi saya dia ada baik dan buruknya. Bagi saya yang boleh menjejaskan negara bila imej negara terjejas.
Risiko penyakit boleh berjangkit, nyamuk boleh membiak, nyamuk Aedes boleh membiak, macam-macam lah.
Masalah kesihatan meningkat. Sebabnya sistem salian yang tidak teratur.
Saya rasa setinggan ni boleh menyebabkan peningkatan masalah sosial di kalangan masyarakat.
Kerajaan kena bina rumah, kos yang sewa dia murah.
Kerajaan perlu lebih prihatin lah, macam bagi mereka bantuan perumahan ke, bantuan pekerjaan.
Kerajaan kena support lah untuk segi pendapatan, gaji tu kena naik lah. Boleh maksimum terus kena menangkan kos harian, kos barang hidup makin tinggi kan. Dan yang boleh juga membantu diorang ni segi penyediaan contohnya kos rumah rendah dan menempatkan mereka-mereka ni di satu kawasan yang boleh diorang boleh bayar rumah lah ikut kemampuan.
The first challenge is unstable income. Squatter settlements do not provide relief to certain squatters, but rather increase the burden on them.
A large of them work for themselves in the informal sector, which is defined by small-scale, labor-intensive industries that heavily rely on indigenous resources.
In this instance, they may be under pressure and feel insecure because majority of the households earn between 1,500 ringgit to 2,000 ringgit per month with 4 to 8 children.
Nonetheless, the Malaysian government effort, which is providing squatter resettlements such as Project Perumahan Rakyat, requires them to apply for a loan. However, they find it difficult to acquire financial aid, particularly from financial institutions, due to their fluctuating income and low wages.
Besides that, Yusof N notes that almost every financial institution considers them to be uncreditworthy. So, if they feel interested in purchasing the low-cost houses, it would be very difficult for them to acquire the mortgage loan. This scenario has caused them to avoid from moving out from the squatters area and thus making it difficult for the government to impose the resettlement program.
Furthermore, if they are required to relocate to the resettlement area provided by the authorities, they need to pay for other miscellaneous fees such as security fees, monthly fees, and many more.
With the increasing cost of living, squatters could not afford to pay for any other expenses because they barely survive living in the city. Hence, due to the unstable income, they are expected to refuse the resettlement strategy initiated by the government.
Apart from that, one of the barriers also can be seen through the acceptance of the squatter dwellers towards the houses that provided by the government. In this case, there are numerous reasons for squatters' refusal to leave their settlement. Some of these may be due to lack of employment opportunities in the resettlement area, long distance to their workplace, and so on. Besides, since the majority of former squatters work in the major cities, they have no choice but to live in the high-rise flats such as flats in the Kuala Lumpur provided by the government under people housing projects. Unfortunately, there are some flats allocated far from their workplace, and besides, the condition of some flats was appalling and also small, especially for those who have big family. Therefore, it can be seen that the criteria of the houses that provided by the government did not suit to the squatter dwellers' compatibility.
Besides that, politics also contributes to the challenge of squatter resettlement. Squatters feel unsafe because there is no protection for squatters under existing laws. This leaves the squatters are very busy with survival issue. At the same time, politicians see this as an opportunity to enhance their individual political party or political career. With the consensus and win-win situation, squatters have the potential to side with all promising deals for their benefit. The issue of squatters has invited constant controversy in society due to the excesses of the political agenda. This seems to be an inevitable situation. Recently, the issue of squatters has become the center of fights between political parties. The approach being championed is the zero squatter policy, which is said to be symbolized a developing country. But the ground is different for opposition parties because they will defend the rights of squatters. Nevertheless, a large percentage of squatters has been offered various housing schemes to meet the needs of all income categories of squatters.
The next challenges of resettlement program of the slum and squatter are the issue of the racism. Well known, racism means a person or a group in a community that has differences in belief and has the understanding that they have a high rank compared to other races. The issue of racism in the resettlement program stemmed from the past black tragedies such as the tragedy of 30 May 1969, the incident in Kampung Rawa Penang, and also in Kampung Medan Petaling Jaya. The issue of racism among these squatter dwellers is also contributed from their racism-based living principle. As observed, the squatter dwellers are among their family and acquaintances, and it results in the formation of the social community based on their own ethnic group. Besides that, the squatter dweller who had lived in many years at the squatter settlement caused them to feel that the area has its own sentimental value, and it results in them to refuse to move the squatter resettlement area. In addition, the differences of ideologies can also create problems between squatter dwellers in terms of social problems, such as the criminal activity, and it also threatens the well-being of other squatter dwellers at the slum and squatter resettlement area.
Jika gelandangan merayu untuk dapatkan tempat berteduh, golongan ini ada rumah tetapi kurang selesa.
Pun menjadi persoalan kepada mereka sampai bila mereka harus bergelar penyewa dan bukan pemilik.
690 kaki persegi tinggal berhimpit sampai 12 orang.
In order to ensure the success of resettlement program, authorities must oversee the process of low-cost housing project and resettlement project from the start. Local authority, task force unit and other responsible parties all play critical role in ensuring the program success in terms of the scheduling and distribution. This is to ensure that the program is effective in reducing squatter and that housing is distributed fairly based on the credential of the recipient.
This includes continuous monitoring all recipients of low-cost housing project in order to prevent them from renting out the house they have received to other people for double price.
As a result, it is important to consider all aspects of the relocation process as well as intensive survey and fact-finding among those affected. People must be included at all levels of planning process, and the process of making plan must be done with the purpose of planning for people and people planning for plans.
In a nutshell, the incident of the slum and squatter are among the examples of the negative impact of the national development progress. This shows that Malaysia needs to consider the sustainability of national development by applying the principle of sustainable urbanizations to reduce the negative impact of the urban development. The Selangor Zero Squatter People Housing Program PPR, Low Cost Public Housing PAKR and others are the initiatives implemented by the government to responding to the problem of the slum and squatter. The most important is none of the planned ideas is planned to achieve failure, given that the government has invested money and time to realize the resettlement program. Surely the government, and most importantly the squatter dweller, want an outcome that can solve this issue. Therefore, proactive action by all agencies need to be mobilized to achieve the objective of the slum and squatter resettlement program.